SCP-999. SCP-999 is proof that not every anomaly is a walking nightmare. Imagine a blob of orange slime the size of a big dog, smelling like a candy store exploded in the best way possible. Touch it, and you're instantly happier than you've ever been in your life. Not just good mood, happy, but full-on laughing until your ribs hurt. Happy. Scientists have tried to figure out how it works. Maybe it releases some crazy chemical. Maybe it's magic joy juice. But the Foundation doesn't really care as long as it keeps morale up. It's harmless, loves hugs, and will happily spend hours rolling over your shoes like a giant golden retriever made of jello. In tests, even the most aggressive anomalies calm down around it, including SCP-682, the indestructible reptile that hates literally everything. For a few minutes, 682 actually played with it before remembering it's supposed to despise all life and going back to murder mode. Foundation staff adore 999. Security guards visit it on lunch breaks just for a mental reset. If it could be bottled, wars would end overnight and therapy would be obsolete. In a universe where most SCP encounters end with screaming, containment breaches, or spontaneous existential dread, SCP-999 is the rare case where the worst that can happen is you get tickled into crying from laughter. SCP-131, if Pixar designed an SCP, it would be SCP-131. Officially, they're classified as autonomous ocular entities. Unofficially, two tiny teardrop-shaped robots with one huge expressive eye each rolling around the Foundation like Roombas with personalities. Nicknamed iPods, they're completely harmless, don't need maintenance, and seem to run purely on curiosity. They follow people they like, sometimes trailing researchers for hours like loyal puppies. If you sit down, they'll stop beside you and just watch, blinking occasionally as if trying to figure you out. The real magic, though, is that they care. They can't speak, but when there's danger, containment breach, fire, acid-spewing monster down the hall, the iPods bolt in the opposite direction, spinning and wobbling like they're having a panic attack, which is basically their way of saying, run. More than one staff member owes their life to that frantic little warning. They can't open doors, they can't fight, but they make up for it with companionship and pure-hearted helpfulness. In a facility crawling with entities that would love to wear your skin as a weekend project, SCP-131 is a reminder that not everything with an SCP tag wants you dead. Some just want to roll around, look cute, and be your silent, unblinking buddy. SCP-507 is what happens when the universe treats you like its favorite yo-yo. He's just a regular guy, except for the part where he randomly teleports to alternate dimensions without warning. No magic words, no flashy portal. 1 second he's making a sandwich in the break room, next he's standing in a jungle where the trees are made of meat. These jumps happen anywhere from a few days to a few months apart, and he never knows where or when he'll land. The kicker? He's not dangerous. He's not even bitter about it. When he eventually pops back into our reality, he's usually carrying a strange souvenir or a bizarre story about the locals he met. Sometimes they're human, sometimes not. On one trip, he ended up in a dimension where it rained soda. Another time, everything looked normal except the moon had a giant smiley face carved into it. The Foundation could have treated him like a lab rat, but instead, he's basically a friendly house guest who occasionally vanishes into a cosmic slot machine. Staff like him, and he likes them back. If anything, he's proof that not all anomalies are out to hurt people. Some are just stuck on an endless, unskippable road trip through the multiverse. And honestly, he handles it better than most of us handle traffic. SCP-105. In a facility packed with eldritch horrors, killer sculptures, and interdimensional nightmares, Iris Thompson is just a polite young woman with one very strange talent. She can interact with photographs as if they were real-time windows. Give her a picture of a room and she can reach into it, move objects around, even interact with people inside. She discovered her ability as a teenager, accidentally saving a friend by pulling them through a photo. Naturally, the Foundation scooped her up faster than you can say containment breach. But unlike most human SCPs, Iris isn't bitter. She's cooperative, works with security teams, and has been instrumental in rescue missions and surveillance. Need eyes on a hostile SCP without sending someone in? Iris can do it from the safety of a chair, cup of coffee in hand. She's also one of the few anomalies the staff genuinely enjoy talking to. Friendly, witty, and shockingly normal, she's the kind of person you could share lunch with and forget she's technically classified alongside reality-bending nightmares. If anything, Iris Thompson is living proof that a smile can be just as disarming as a containment cell. SCP-181. Some people say luck isn't real. SCP-181 exists to personally prove them wrong, and then win the argument by finding a $100 bill on the floor. Lucky is a perfectly normal-looking human who just happens to have the statistical odds of a cartoon protagonist. Card games? He wins. Dangerous tests? He walks out without a scratch. Containment breach in the next hallway. The breach just doesn't happen until he's gone. The effect isn't subtle either. It's like the universe is constantly rewriting itself to keep him safe and make things work out in his favor. During testing, if a coin toss would land on heads 50% of the time, Lucky will hit heads every time. If the test is meant to be lethal, some freak accident will sabotage it. Equipment jams, power flickers, or the floor collapses at the perfect moment to drop him into safety. What makes him stand out isn't just his survival skills, it's that his good fortune tends to spill over onto people around him. Staff who spend the day near him report finding lost items, avoiding accidents, or getting unexpectedly good news. In the SCP universe, where good news is usually "we all survived another day," that makes him a valuable morale booster. Lucky may not have super strength or magic powers, but in a world full of monsters and mayhem, sometimes the best ability is being in the right place at the right time. SCP-2295. If you took the concept of kindness and stuffed it inside a teddy bear, you'd get SCP-2295. At first glance, it's just an old, worn-out plush, about knee-high, with patchwork, stitching, and mismatched colors. But this bear has one extraordinary habit. When it sees an injured person, it springs into action like a tiny fabric surgeon. Using sewing needles and scraps of cloth that appear from nowhere, 2295 will repair missing or damaged body parts by replacing them with functional fabric equivalents. Lose a hand, you'll wake up with a soft, quilted version that works almost as well as the original. Heart failure, it'll stitch you a brand new heart out of red felt and button thread. Somehow, these patchwork parts function perfectly, and patients often say they feel better than before. It never asks for anything in return. No matter how serious the injury, it works tirelessly, stitching and humming softly until the patient is safe. And while its medical methods might look like arts and crafts time, the results are nothing short of miraculous. In a facility where medical intervention often means containment after something horrible, SCP-2295 is a gentle reminder that sometimes the impossible can be used to heal, not harm. Plus, it's the only doctor on site that gives free hugs. SCP-343. Walk into SCP-343's containment area and you're greeted by an elderly man in a white robe smiling warmly, offering you tea. He calls himself God. And here's the unsettling part. The Foundation can't disprove it. He knows things he shouldn't, goes wherever he pleases, and his room, which is only a few meters wide on paper, somehow stretches into a sprawling, sunlit landscape filled with gardens, streams, and the smell of fresh bread. He's completely cooperative, friendly to everyone, and seemingly incapable of harm. Researchers have asked him questions ranging from the creation of the universe to the best way to cook salmon, and he always has an answer that feels right. Sometimes he'll share stories that sound like ancient history. Other times, it's advice about remembering to call your mom. The strangest thing, the Foundation can't keep him contained because he doesn't need to be. SCP-343 could walk out anytime, yet chooses to stay, enjoying conversations and the company of the staff. 343 treats everyone like an old friend. Whether or not he's the god is up for debate, but he's definitely the nicest omnipotent being you'll ever meet in the SCP files.